Take the third one, that is Krishna is the controller and owner of all. In Upanishads, the word Isha used to describe Supreme Personality of Godhead. Isha means controller. Do you think you are the controlled or not? Question mark. Is there any person anywhere within the universe who is not controlled? Can anyone say, I am not controlled? Nobody can say that. So if you are controlled, then why do you declare I am not controlled? I am independent. I am God. Why this nonsense? Mayavati impersonalism claim I am God, you are God, everybody is God. But if they are controlled, how can they be God? Does this make any sense? God is never controlled. He is supreme controller. So if somebody is controlled, immediately we should know that he is not God. Of course, some rascals claim that they are not controlled. I know one such rascal who has a society and is preaching, I am God. But one day I saw him with a toothache. He was moaning. Oh, so I asked him, you claim that you are God, the supreme controller, but now you are under the control of a toothache. What kind of God are you? So if you see someone who claims that he is God, or that everyone is God, you should immediately know such a person is the number one rascal. Now this is not to say that living entities are not controllers to some extent. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that living entities are his superior energy. Why are living entities superior energy? Because they are conscious, whereas the material energy is not. Material energy is not. Therefore, the living entities can control the material energy for some extent. For example, all the paraphernalia in the temple has been made from earth, water, fire and air. But it was a living entity who molded this material energy into this paraphernalia for purpose of worshipping Krishna. Another example, before people came from Europe, this land of America was mostly vacant. The people who lived here before that did not even fully exploit it. But the Europeans came and developed it into a country with great industries and roads. So the superior energy, the living entities, can have some control over the material energy. Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Yad Yadam Dehrate Jagat. The importance of this material world is due to living entities. A big city like Los Angeles, New York, London is valuable as long as living entities are there. Similarly, the body is valuable as long as living entities is there. The living entity, the soul is there. Therefore, the soul is superior to matter. But that superiority is being misused to exploit matter for sense gratification. This is conditioned life. We have forgotten that although we are superior to matter, we are still subordinate to God. The people of the modern civilization do not care for God because they are intoxicated with their superiority over matter. They are simply trying to exploit matter in different ways. But they are forgetting that all people, American, Russian, Chinese, Indian, are subordinate to God. They have forgotten Krishna and want to enjoy this material world. That is their disease. So the duty of devotee of the Lord is to invoke the people's consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Devotee explains to them, you are superior to matter, but you are subordinate to Krishna. Therefore, you should not try to enjoy matter, but rather use it for his enjoyment. For example, we have decorated this temple not for our sense gratification, but for Krishna's pleasure. What is the difference between us and ordinary people? They are decorating their apartment very nicely and we are decorating our place very nicely. But the purpose is different. We are doing it for Krishna and they are doing it for themselves. Whether you decorate your personal apartment or Krishna's temple, your superiority over matter remains since you are utilizing matter for your purposes. When you apply your intelligence towards utilizing matter for Krishna's pleasure, your life is successful. Whereas when you apply the same intelligence for your sense gratification, you become entangled in material nature and feel anxiety. Then you have to change bodies one after another. Krishna is the supreme controller of both the inferior energy, matter, and superior energy, the jivatma ourselves. We are Krishna's superior energy because we cannot control the material world. But that control is also conditional. We have only remote control over this material world. But Krishna has control over us. Therefore, whatever control we have, he has sanctioned. For example, a human being has manufactured this nice microphone using his intelligence. That means he has been able to control matter to a certain degree to fulfill his desire. But where has his intelligence come from? Krishna has given man his superior intelligence in the Bhagavad Gita 15.15. Krishna says, Sarvaschaham Riddhi Sanvinishto Matra Smritir Jnanam Apohamcha. I am seated in everybody's heart, and for me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Therefore, the Supreme Controller is giving intelligence to the superior energy in the human form of body. Do this, now do that. The direction is not whimsical. The person wanted to do something in his past life, but in his present life he forgets, and Krishna reminds him, you wanted to do this, here is an opportunity. So although you have superior intelligence, that is also controlled by Krishna. Krishna gives you intelligence, you can manufacture the nice microphone, otherwise you cannot. Therefore, in every sphere of life, we are controlled by Krishna. We also see Krishna's control on the universal level. For example, there are so many huge planets. This Earth planet is only a small one. So on this planet, there are big oceans like the Atlantic and Pacific, as well as big mountains and skyscraper buildings. Yet despite all this load, the Earth is floating in air just like a swab of cotton. Who is floating it? Can you float even a grain of sand in the air? You might talk about the law of gravity and so many other things, but you cannot control it. Your airplane is flying in the air, but as soon as the petrol is finished, it will immediately fall. So if it takes so many scientists to build an aeroplane that can float only temporarily in the air, is it possible the huge earth is floating on its own accord? No. Lord Krishna declares in Bhagavad Gita 15.13, I enter into material planets and keep them afloat. Just as to keep an airplane afloat, a pilot has to enter it. So to keep this earth afloat, Krishna has entered it. This is the simple truth. We have to take knowledge from Krishna. We should accept any process of gaining knowledge except hearing from Krishna or his representative. Then we'll have first class knowledge. If you find an authority who is representing Krishna and who can speak on the subject matter, and if you accept the knowledge he gives, then your knowledge is perfect. Of all the process of receiving knowledge, the least reliable is the direct sense perception. Suppose someone asks, can you show me God? This means he wants to experience everything directly. But this is second class process for gaining knowledge because our senses are imperfect and we are prone to make mistakes. Suppose you need some gold but you don't know where to purchase it. So you go to a proprietor of a hardware store and ask, do you have any gold in stock? He'll immediately understand that you are a first class fool because you have come to purchase gold in a hardware store. Therefore, he will try to cheat you. Give you a piece of iron, say, here is gold. Then what will you say? Will you accept that iron as a gold? Because you do not know that gold is and have gone to a hardware store to purchase it. If you get a piece of iron, you will get a piece of iron and be cheated. Similarly, rascals who demand that they be shown God do not know that what God is, and therefore they are being cheated by so many bogus spiritual leaders who claim that they are God. This is happening. If you want to purchase gold, you must have at least some preliminary knowledge of what gold is. Similarly, if you want to see God, the first requirement is that you must know some of the basic characteristics of God. If you go to some rascal and he claims to be God, you accept him as God, you will be cheated. Another question we should ask when someone says, I want to see God, is what qualification do you have to see God? God is not so cheap that he can be seen by anybody and everybody. No, the Krishna consciousness movement does not present any nonsense or cheap thing. If you want to use God face to face, you want to see God face to face, then you must follow the rules and regulations. Chant Hare Krishna and purify yourself. Then gradually the time will come when you are purified and you will see God. Still, even though in your present contaminated condition you are not qualified to see God, he is so kind that he allows you to see him in the deity form in the temple. In that form, he agrees to be seen by everyone, whether or not one knows he is God. The deity is not an idol, it's not imagination. The knowledge of how to construct the deity and install him on the altars is received from the scriptures and superior acharyas or spiritual masters. Therefore, the authorized deity in the temple is Krishna himself and can fully reciprocate with your love and service. With your present blunt material senses, however, you cannot immediately perceive God's spiritual form, name, qualities, pastimes and paraphernalia. Because people in the present civilization have no power to understand God and are not guided by some person who can help them understand God, they have become godless. But if you read Vedic scriptures like the Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita under superior guidance and follow the rules and regulations, eventually God will be revealed to you. You cannot see God or understand God by your own endeavor. You have to surrender to the process by which God can be known. Then he will reveal himself. He is the supreme controller, you are being controlled. So can you control God? Oh God, come here, I want to see you. God is not so cheap that by your order he will come and seen by you. So that is not possible. You must always remember God is supreme controller and I am controlled. So if I can please God by my service, then he will reveal himself to me. This is the process of knowing God. Ultimately, this process leads to love of God. This is real religion. It doesn't matter whether you follow the Hindu, Muslim or Christian religion. If you are dealing love of God, then you are perfect in your religion. And what kind of love should we develop for God? It must be without any selfish motivation. Oh Lord, I love you because you supply me so many nice things. You are my order supplier. No, we should not have this sort of love for God. It should not depend on any exchange. Lord Chaitanya Prabhu thought, oh Lord, whether you trample me under your feet or embrace me or leave me broken-handed but not being present before me, that does not matter. You are completely free to do anything, for you are my worshipful Lord unconditionally. That is Lord. Love. We should think God may do whatever he likes, yet I still love him. I don't want anything in exchange. This is sort of love Krishna wants. That is why he is fond of the gopis. In the gopis' love, there is no question of business exchanges. Give me this, then I will love you. The love was pure, unalloyed, without any impediment. If you try to love God this way, nothing in the whole world can check you. You only have to develop our eagerness. Krishna, I want you, that's all. There is no question of being stopped. In any condition, your love will increase. If you attain that state, you will feel fully satisfied. It is not that God wants you to love him for his benefit. It is for your benefit. If you do otherwise, you will never be happy.